Gulf Country citizens, welcome to Late Night Green, your #1 video source for all things cannabis related. Tonight, we'll explore the hypocrisy of META censorship. We'll discuss the Turning Point USA podcast, Cannabis Lunatic. We've got your cannabis news with Bill, and tonight's strain of the day is Orange Starburst. And don't forget to stay till the end so you can join us for the Stoned Moon Sesh. Now, pack a bowl, twist a fatty, or do that dab because Late Night Green is coming to you live right now.
All righty, what's going on?
My man.
How you like that?
Man, listen.
We come in a little bit more style.
We coming up.
What's up, Todd Father?
Man, you know, listen, always happy trying to do the damn thing.
You always doing the damn thing. You told someone to sit your ass down last time. That doesn't happen every show.
Man, shit, sometimes you got to tell them.
It's a special occasion when that happens.
Listen, they earn it.
So, what's going on, man? How are you?
Man, I'm groovy. You know what I'm saying?
You doing good?
Yeah, man. You know,
doing good in the hood?
Damn near midweek. You know what I'm saying?
It's getting there, isn't it?
So, how was that dab station?
Yeah, so we were just the dab station was good. We were thinking about putting a camera on top of the dab station, like facing down, and then putting that up during the countdown so you can see who's coming in doing dabs before the show. What do you think? Put it in the comments. Let me know what you guys think.
See who's yakking out over there, or see who's handling.
Well, I mean, listen. I mean, I hacked it up a little bit. So, all right, so hang on a second. I got to fix something here real quick.
Yeah.
All right, there we go. So, so tonight we are going to talk a little bit about, I'm going to be doing a deeper dive on this whole META trial. And not that the META trial has anything to do with weed, but there's a hypocrisy that just stinks with this whole fucking thing with META. We're going to talk about that. We have a video from somebody on the TP USA podcast. We're going to talk about that. We've got news. We've got a strain of the day, which I don't even know what it is. You'll tell me later. We'll keep it a surprise. Or maybe Bill said what it was. I don't know.
Well, it's actually Pink Starburst.
Ooh, fire.
Yeah,
Pink Starburst.
Yeah.
All right, well, I'm down with that. And also joining us tonight is Bill. What's going on, Bill? How are you?
I'm doing well. Phil, how are you tonight?
I'm good, man. What's going on? You're looking sharp and clean over in the news.
Well, I
desk.
appreciate that. You know what? I took a shower this afternoon. I shaved my head, combed my beard. I am set, boy.
Hey now.
Okay. So give us a little preview of some news stories that we're going to talk about tonight.
We've got some hot news to talk about tonight. We've got a new weed czar in New York.
Oh, really?
A fella named John Kagia.
Okay.
And now this is our fourth weed czar in, I think it's like 2 years now.
Well, don't tell us too much.
I don't want to give it all away. I want to save some for you.
Okay.
We also have Michigan. Remember last week we talked about Ohio is distributing money. Michigan's jumped on the bandwagon too. They're about to distribute $94 million. So we'll get into that a little bit.
Okay.
There's a native tribe in Nebraska who is, I think they're just getting a little tired of Nebraska dragging their feet to legalize marijuana. And so this tribe is going to say, we're doing it without you.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah.
I want to hear that.
And that's a fun one. And cannabis workers of the country, unite. We're looking to unionize. Well, not we, but we've got a story about they're going to start, they may start
Striking.
unionizing. Well, there's a story about a possible strike, and there's a story about unionization. So,
well, all right, cool. We'll talk about that, Bill.
yeah, good.
I want you to hang with us for a second.
I'm happy to. Sure.
Actually, what I'm going to do is I'm going to let you and Todd talk for just a minute because I forgot there's a piece of paper in there that I need to go get. So I'll be back in a second. But we're going to talk about META. I want you to hang out, spend a few minutes before you go, and join in on the conversation about this. We're going to talk about this. Give me a second.
Yeah. Todd, what did he forget? A rolling paper?
That's probably what the real deal is.
That's the real deal, right?
I hope he didn't forget him, and he comes back with him.
I was watching you rolling up before the show tonight, And I got to tell you, folks, if you haven't seen the Weed Olympics, or you didn't see any of the contests between Todd and Phil for rolling, Todd rolls beautiful. It looks machine made. And then he also puts little notes on it. What are your notes typically, Todd?
Well, you know, we got to put the type, what it is. You know, it's a sativa hybrid or indica,
right?
And the percentage on there, and of course the name of the flavor. So, you know what you're reaching for.
That is awesome. It's so impressive. If you ever get a chance to have a sesh with Todd, it's an experience. Let me tell you.
Well, you can do that. Just contact us. I'm sure we can make provisions. So, guys, so what I'm talking about is a story that I'm going to work on. I'm working on this next week, and I'm hoping it will be out towards the end of next week. But it's a deeper dive into a story about the case that's happening right now in I guess it's out in California. But it's a federal case, and it's about a group of people who are suing Meta, Facebook, etc., Instagram, etc., about things that have happened that are bad in their kids' world. Some of their kids are no longer here for various reasons. Other parents with kids that have had great harm done to them, either by themselves or whatever, just kind of tiptoeing around that. But what it's about is it's about whether Meta promoted the usage and the addictiveness in the algorithm of this product. And did they design it for young people to be addicted to it? And were they using directives, meaning did they have a complete understanding of how the algorithm worked and what they wanted to yield from that algorithm? So they were looking for longer times, longer, how many more minutes? Could you get 10% more minutes? Can you get this? Can you get this type of interaction? And so they were very aware of the things that they were doing. And so what I thought was quite, and they're in court, Zuckerberg's in court, he's defending it. We're going to talk about a couple things of this tonight, but this is a preview of really what's to come. And the reason that I'm bringing this up is not because it necessarily has anything to do with cannabis, but the irony that how they go out of their way to make this an addictive product is just as vigorous as how they go out of the way to block people who are in the cannabis space from creating the content that they want to create, period. It's crazy. And so right now they're in court. The allegations that Instagram's design may have contributed to teen mental health struggles. Internal research, engagement targets, Senate hearings, it's all back in the spotlight. Meta also continues to aggressively restrict cannabis content, which we well know we're shadow banned. And Facebook told us, even in fully legal state-regulated markets. So we're going to ask the question, what's the priority? Is it safety? What do you think? Is it safety is their priority? Because if it's safety, why does enforcement of this safety look so selective? Why does it look like they're being devious on this side for basically harming today's kids versus the extent that they go to make sure that cannabis isn't a part of their platform?
Yeah, I don't think it's exclusive to the Meta case. I think it's across the boards with a lot of these platforms, because it's just that cloud over their head when it comes to cannabis. They get scared with their marketing opportunities. So I think that's pretty much, they're trying to keep their business safe.
So you don't think it has to do with politicians or certain sides of politics playing a role into this?
Well, I'm sure, a lot of things come into play. But ultimately it's that, the company, right, and their vision and how they want to move forward to try to maximize their profits. So a lot of the mainstream companies are just still scared of mainstreaming cannabis.
So the plaintiffs are arguing that Instagram wasn't just a passive platform. Like, they weren't just passive. What they're saying is that it was engineered in ways that maximized engagement, especially amongst young users.
Yeah, I believe that. I mean, that's pretty much what a lot of those guys do. You try to get everybody sucked in.
But they say no.
Hooked. And I think that didn't he admit to some of that and say, oh, well, we done some of that in the past and now we decrease.
Yeah,
so he admitted to it.
Hang on one second. Hey, control room, can you put Bill on this screen in the back so he can kind of join in on the conversation real quick as it relates? I understand. So some of the features. Let me give you some of the features that these guys are doing. So features like infinite scroll, algorithm ranking, autoplay, push notification. Critics say it's addictive by design.
It is.
Yeah, I'm sure it is.
It is. It's dopamine addiction, and they're maximizing the effect as much as they can. But I think what they're doing is they're overcorrecting on things like marijuana because it looks good to people, right? If we're saying we're blocking all cannabis content, then mom and dad feel a little bit better about it. But the fact of the matter is they are still maximizing the dopamine addiction.
Yeah. So Zuckerberg testified that Meta invests billions into safety tools and AI moderation systems. He also said that social media has both positive and negative effects.
Sure.
And that Meta takes youth safety seriously. He even publicly apologized to families affected by online harm during a Senate hearing. Not during this case, but during a Senate hearing.
And that doesn't cost them anything.
Yeah, kind of standard response.
Oh, there's Bill. I was looking for Bill. There he is. I got you. So they take a hard line on cannabis. Does any I think the big question is why? Like, what is it about weed and Meta that just, why is it that they basically hate the weed community? That's what I want to know.
I think it's an easy target, right? If they can turn around and say to their shareholders, look what we've done to protect the youth from weed content.
I mean, that would mean that they're just simply preying on the weak. I think it's far more than that.
I think it's just maximizing their potential to be marketers. You know, listen, as much as we like it, much as we know is damn near, it is mainstream, even though it's not mainstream, if that makes any sense. But the companies still want to shy away from that for the marketing. They're playing it safe.
But why do the companies, then why is it okay for these guys to put out this unbelievably questionable content that really is like, it teaches people the wrong things. You can learn how to make destructive things. You can learn how to be destructive to yourself. We talked about this the other day. All these things are okay.
It's not hurting their bottom line. That's what it's all about.
And weed's going to hurt their bottom line.
Yes, because a lot of companies don't want to be associated with that. So you're going to lose some of those, funding opportunities.
So you believe it's because of the advertising pool that they work with.
Very
their
much
advertising
so.
clients
Dollars.
don't want weed.
That's right.
It always comes down to dollars.
That's what it comes down to.
Do you think maybe it's easier
It's
to
not
find
exclusive.
the cannabis content than it is to find the other questionable content that we don't want to mention by name?
No, because the algorithm delivers it in a way where they keep making sure if they want you to watch something, you're going to fucking watch it.
True.
That's how it works, right? So, so companies like these legal companies, legal retail businesses and all that, they have a problem, because advertising, we all know the reason we're here is to help them advertise, but they can't even sometimes create their own content for their own social media pages without being shadow banned.
Right.
I mean, what business needs to be shadow banned unless they did something fucking wrong? But yet, we are, everybody, not everybody. There seems to be some people who have figured the algorithm out, or it's just inconsistent, and that's the whole point. Is you think for them cannabis is a primary risk, and I
don't think it's just exclusive to them. It's pretty much a lot of the companies out there, the major companies. That's where they bank on having that image, getting those marketing dollars. If you make one mistake, right, you lose all those advertising dollars. It's just not worth it to them. So they're not worrying about what it looks like. It's just like any other company. It's bottom line.
Right.
Not to say it's good.
Right. All right. Well, here's the deal, guys. So tune in and stay tuned late next week. We're going to go over some of this testimony. I'm going to go over some of these internal meta documents. I want to show you, like I really do want to highlight to what extent they go after people in a negative way, while people in the cannabis space get left out high and dry. So we're going to talk about the community guidelines and what that says about regulated goods and whether there's a consistency problem in enforcement, which we know that there is for sure. So guys, stay tuned in. Bill, thank you. We will see you after the break. And
Looking forward to it.
Can't wait to do some news, bro.
Yeah, man.
All right, see you soon.
All right.
All right, cool. So I was scrolling through Rumble, and before I even do this, let's have a chat. So YouTube in the last few weeks, and I know they've been filtering a lot of content providers out. They've been dropping like dead subscribers, so people have been losing chunks of subscribers, this kind of stuff. Whatever clearinghouse they're doing, we seem to have gotten caught up in that. So I read about it, then I kind of watched it happen. So it appears to me that they got us kind of shadow banned on YouTube. And I mean, not shadow banned in the sense that people who are subscribed will see that we're live. So that's not the problem. The problem is trying to grow your audience and being able to show stuff to people who don't know who you are. That's what they seem to not be willing to do, because we were getting views that we're not getting now, and I don't necessarily think we're doing anything all that different. So, and you know, again, we try to evolve the show and keep it moving forward and all that, but like that's kind of crazy. So I've kind of started getting to the thinking, you know, what about maybe not putting the emphasis on YouTube and sticking to the Rumbles and the Kick platforms for us, because they're just more designed for what we do and how we do it for this show, not for all of the shows.
They let us get down.
Yeah. So, so I don't know, guys. You chime in. I mean, right now tonight we're on YouTube, and we're going to stay broadcasting on YouTube. So, but we are going to start cutting shows early on YouTube, and I think we're going to start posting a lot less on YouTube and making sure that all of the good stuff and the content's over on Kick and over on Rumble and stuff. But I'm open to hearing what you guys think about it. So with that said, and with me being over on Rumble, I did find a TP, you know TP USA, right?
Yes, yeah, I know who they are.
Religious organization, you know, they're well, you know what they are.
Yeah, I do know what they are.
All right. So TP USA has a podcast. This is the organization that Charlie Kirk founded. They do a podcast. They still call it the Charlie Kirk podcast, which I think is kind of strange. I mean, at what point do you, after you die, would you just maybe call it the Turning Point podcast or something like that? But anyway, what I found on there was an interview that they did with this guy who I've never heard of before, but he's got like this radical opinion about weed that seems to, he's all fired up about it. So I figured, Control Room, I figured what we'll do is, and Jeff, feel free to jump in on the mic for this one. Do you want to play it on this screen behind me?
Yeah, I can do that. Give me 1 second.
Jeff?
Yeah, can you hear me?
There we go. So we'll play it on the screen behind me. This is the Charlie Kirk Show, and they're going to, I guess, introduce this guy here on the right. And what we're going to do is we're going to listen to it together, and we're going to make some comments on it. Guys, what we'll do is I'll make sure I'm looking at chats. Make sure you guys tell us what you are thinking. Specifically, tell us what you guys are thinking.
We'll tell. Can you hear me?
I can.
Okay. Just want to make sure my mic was live.
Yep, it is. So why don't we start playing it, and we'll just kind of stop it along the way. Anybody can yell stop, and if they've got something to say, just.
Well, I kind of cut it up into 4 little sections.
Okay.
So
Great.
I'll just kind of play it and then stop it where I had it.
You got it. You got it.
Perfect.
Sounds good.
1 second. Put the
significant part of our adult population which is using marijuana, high potency marijuana, on a daily basis. This is lobotomizing a significant portion of our population. It lowers IQ, it lowers testosterone, it's dangerous for pregnant women. I mean, you go down so many of the lists. The number one pushback that I get, and I will say, gentlemen, you may find this shocking. I have spoken about the most controversial issues of the time, ICE, BLM, and everything. I have received hate mail many times, daylight savings, property tax, as you said. Nothing inspires more hatred for me personally than talking about the ills of marijuana. And in particular, the one I hear the most is about so-called medical benefits. I need to remind everyone that a massive study just came out, not even 3 months ago, written up by the New York Times, by JAMA, major medical journals, that shows that all of the claims, almost all the claims about medical marijuana are completely fake. And I think that what's something very insidious and dangerous about this drug is the worship of it by many of its users. People who are alcoholics do not try to justify.
We'll back up and deal with the alcoholic comment in a second. But he just said that people, like, they're talking about worship. Is there a difference between a lifestyle and worship? Is there a difference? Worship?
Worship is different than a lifestyle.
That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
And then he says that there's a study that was written about by the New York Times about all the medical benefits. Basically, he goes, they're just non-existent.
He's just throwing things out there.
His name is Cigar and Jetty. And he says that people hate him because of his radical stance on weed. What do you think?
Well, he's a little dated.
I mean, listen, I guess if you're trying to get attention, right, then taking a position like this will get you talked about. We're talking about him.
He has a lot of time on his hands.
Yeah. Back it up just a hair if you can, and then let him spew off about how alcoholics don't glamorize their drinking. Go ahead.
Times by JAMA, major medical journals, that shows that all of the claims, almost all the claims about medical marijuana are completely fake. And I think that what's something very insidious and dangerous about this drug is the worship of it by many of its users. People who are alcoholics do not try to justify their alcohol use by saying that it's curing them. It's a shameful activity, and frankly, I think it should be. Like, if you need to drink every single day to function, like, you have a real problem. And I think that exactly the same thing of marijuana, except its proponents will say that there's nothing wrong with that. Our cultural norms around marijuana are encouraging high potency indulgence by huge segments of our population. There is no proper regulation. And unfortunately, a significant part of both bipartisan America are being seduced by what is now big weed. I mean, these people make big tobacco look like choir boys with the way that they have been locked.
Okay, so
break it down.
Todd Father. He's definitely going extreme here, comparing it to big tobacco. And now he's saying, all right, he's disputing the medical benefits. Now,
he's saying it goes he says it's beyond big tobacco, beyond that.
Yeah, but stating that there's no medical benefits and all that, that's hogwash.
I mean, I think that's, I mean,
it wouldn't have got passed as a medical.
There's too many people reaping the benefits of this for that to even make any sense.
So there's one solution for this. He doesn't have to smoke it. He should. But maybe that's a problem.
Well, he definitely don't smoke it.
He probably owns some heroin.
I was just going to say he owns something because he doesn't slow down for a fucking second. What do you think, Jeff?
I just think he's one of these people that is just so uptight that everything bothers him. Like, I don't think this guy's happy. You know what I mean? Like, this type of dude is not happy in his life. And he has to just take it out on the rest of the world.
Yes.
Anybody trying to have fun anywhere, anybody trying to enjoy freedom, anybody trying to, step outside of his very narrow lines, he's going to have a problem with.
That sounds like a very good.
Or this is just to get the attention, because what's he? I don't know what he's known.
It's just a personality, exactly. This could just be a media personality deciding to make money.
All right, so let's see what he got to say here.
lobbying not only this administration but others to get Americans as hooked on this drug as possible and to keep out responsible voices who are warning about its problems, just like Alex Berenson did with Tell Your Children, which I highly recommend. If you are a parent, you need to buy that book. You need to read it and you need to keep your kids away from this substance.
Now Sagar.
Wow. It's a lot, man. This guy is like, he's on full panic fucking mode.
So I hope he doesn't take any pharmaceutical products.
Here a little bit.
In driving, people who go after alcohol like to talk about correctly DWIs and impaired driving, but everybody seems to ignore that we have a significant enough cannabis crisis for people who are driving while high.
I totally
Nobody is paying attention to these. So I would just say to that person, the same way I talk to people whenever I talk about the dangers of SSRIs, it may have made you feel as if it worked in that case, but in a longitudinal study, we see that it does not hold even close to the same benefit, let's say, of things with not even near the amount of danger like exercise and or diet.
Hold on.
So
He just likes to talk.
Gee, this guy, man, is killing me.
He just likes to talk.
I mean, I'm trying to break down what this guy's saying, and he just
He's
doesn't
not saying
fucking.
much.
He's not saying much, and then he's saying it so fucking fast. Jesus, man, what the fuck, bro?
All right, so he hates
claims,
marijuana.
while we can take individually, when we study them in the long term, we see that on the whole they do not hold up as promised. And look, like, not to get
You're a
lewd, but just
fucking
yesterday,
liar.
as a joke, I was tweeting about cannabis suppositories, which I did not know was a thing. And yeah, so that's a thing. It's extremely high potent, and the criticism I got is like, you're making fun of cancer patients. And I went to the website which is selling these cannabis suppositories, and what's the very first thing that it says? A discrete ways to use cannabis, right? Like, even the sellers
Pause.
are in on the.
Now, I happen to know that cannabis suppositories are used for, basically, they're used for cancer patients. They've been around a long time. It just shows you that you don't know shit, Cigar. His name's Cigar. Cigar or weed is what his name should be. But no, I mean, it's been around a long time, and he's talking about how, like, that's like people are using.
Yeah, like it's
like
a fad. But no,
like people are using suppositories.
dismissing the medicinal use of it.
It's silly.
But I do want to say this, man.
Have you heard anybody tell you about the misuse of weed suppositories? I mean, are you fucking kidding me?
Man, listen, I haven't heard anybody
You guys
mention
don't just get
weed
those for a Friday night?
suppositories, because if somebody has weed suppositories, they better have cancer.
What'd you say, Jeff?
You guys just don't get those for a Friday night? That's not just a good time?
No.
Yeah, I'm not sharing no weed
no.
suppositories with a motherfucker. Yo, let's drop these.
Yeah. Hey, you want to
shit.
come over and do some fucking suppositories
Yeah,
together?
let's
I think
squeeze
that's
these
what this guy- I
cheeks.
think that's what this guy thinks. I think he,
Or
these
how
people are just
about
getting
you're gonna smash? You're gonna have chicks come over and let's do some suppositories.
Give
and
me
smash.
give me a suppository. Yo,
What
I
the
can't even say this.
It's just
Yo,
crazy.
I can't even say
This guy is nuts, man. Bro, you are nuts. Keep playing him.
joke.
my
Like,
God.
they use medical marijuana as a claim to try and give it some veneer of health, when in
Pause.
reality,
It is medical marijuana. Nobody's sticking that thing up their fucking ass for fun, bro. It is medicine. No one's doing that for fun. You're stupid as fuck, man.
I mean, he's not wrong that some people that are getting the medical are getting it just for fun. It's for recreation.
But they're not
Nobody
getting
denies that. But they're not
Okay,
getting
then
suppositories.
use another example, because this shows you you're a fraud, Cigar.
this is
That's
about
what it shows.
addiction, and it's a tragic story. Marijuana is not a costless drug. I highly recommend people
No, it's
read Alex
expensive in
Berenson's
some
book about
cases.
psychosis. Check out Andrew Huberman's work on the topic as well. It's ruining your sleep. If you're a young man in particular, if you want to have a family, its effect on testosterone, on your ability to have children, people are not telling you the truth. And then similarly with a lot.
Did a whole generation not fucking have fucking kids while they were smoking
Yeah,
weed?
see,
A
that-
whole
that's-
generation?
Yeah, see, now he's being ridiculous, because just about every product has some type of, thing that will cut down on your fertility, just that and other. So, yeah, he's just a little
And the problem with this kind of podcast is, he could just say whatever he wants, make whatever he claim he wants, and there's nobody there pushing back.
Right.
There's nobody fact checking.
Right.
Exactly.
So I mean, where are these studies that he's talking about?
And they just throw stuff out, you know. Well, listen, we know what is this? What's the name of this show?
Our show?
No, their show. This show here.
It's from Talking Point USA, but I think this
Okay,
is
well,
real.
Charlie, this is the Charlie Kirk show.
Okay, well, that says it all right there.
Out of pregnant women. Every pregnant woman in America knows you should stay away from alcohol. Unfortunately, because of this medical worship culture around marijuana, they are using marijuana in some cases for pain relief or others because they believe the propaganda.
In some cases they are, but they also are very aware, pregnant women are very aware that they shouldn't smoke anything. What about those people? What about the majority of women who already know that they're not supposed to do this? The fuck is wrong with you, bro? Go ahead.
Of costlessness, and it is already causing problems for children in the womb, not to mention the explosion of something called cannabis hypermesis syndrome, which you can all look up.
Scromiting. Here we
is,
go.
in fact,
What, did I
where
fucking
you're
call
just,
it? Did I call it?
significantly vomiting. People, children, teenagers, and others who are vaping this very high-potency drug. Ask any ER doctor in your life who will know exactly what I am talking about. This is...
Yeah, I knew you'd like that part.
I mean, I even knew it was coming. As soon as he said the cannabis hypermesis syndrome, I'm like, here goes scromiting. And he literally on cue fucking said scromiting.
There's a libertarian streak in the conservative movement, especially when it comes to marijuana. They say, hey, listen, these things are all legal. Cigarettes, drinking, marijuana should be considered the same. What is your pushback directly to that libertarian, like, just don't, get off my lawn, government, don't tell me what to do, leave me alone?
Okay, I'm sure
I
you
hear
have
you.
one.
I hear you loud and clear. However, we accept as a society that total freedom would be anarchy. And so we have to have well-established norms. And when your freedom begins to have high levels of societal costs and cause danger and medical crises and significantly ramp up, let's
Like
say,
alcohol?
violence in some cases.
Like alcohol?
By the way, guys, we haven't even talked about the mass shooter angle. The number of mass shooters who are cannabis addicts is unbelievable, even though it's a relatively small subset. So SSRI certainly should be.
We are going
to.
So now my man has gone all the way around full circle to saying that weed is basically the root cause of mass shootings. The fuck? I mean, you're making yourself sound stupid, dude. Go ahead.
Discuss, but that's another angle through which we should. The point around it is that nobody is saying, at least me, I am not saying that you holding a dime bag should send you to jail. What I am saying is that we need very well-established norms and regulation to keep these companies, which are selling these products of extremely high potency with no limits on advertising, no, actual analysis of its claims, no safeguards to try and keep it away from children. And I encourage people to try and to think in that.
No limits on advertising.
Yeah, we talk how much about the limits on advertising?
Have you tried to run an ad on Instagram for your weed brand cigar? Have you? You haven't. You're crazy. You are in a different...
Well, he's just an extremist, so he's just here to get people's attention.
You're in an alternate reality.
About another 30 seconds.
All right, let it rip.
I'm thinking
no
when we started to legalize it, it wasn't even just, oh, it's legal now. We were getting, Democrats were having these bills to subsidize it so, like, former convicted drug dealers, like black Americans, could open their own weed stores so we could have as many weed stores as possible in low-income neighborhoods. Like, and I'm just thinking, we're going to look back at this in 10 years, 15, 20, and that will be the new argument they use to prove why America is racist. They'll say, not only did they legalize weed, they subsidized putting weed into black neighborhoods. And it's going to be so hard to explain.
Well,
no.
Shut up! Yeah, that is an interesting point there, because not that he's right, but it proves how you can take the exact same thing and look at it from two different sides and come to two different conclusions. He's talking about, it sounds like our solution to the drug problem is to subsidize it and put the drugs right into the bad neighborhoods and make it worse. Whereas we see social justice, whereas the people that were harmed the most by the drug war then get to benefit from the legalization.
If
You know what
it
I mean?
worked like
we're
that.
seeing the exact same thing happen.
If it
drawing
actually,
two
if it
different
actually worked
conclusions.
like that.
If it worked like that, but you know what I mean? He's drawing the opposite conclusion.
Yeah, this is pretty wild stuff, man. This is what they're talking about. I just, it's kind of.
I don't give him too much time or energy. You hear nuts like this, it's just back talk. So he's just out there trying to get attention for himself, and we ain't listening.
All right, let's go.
That's all we got.
Shut the fuck up!
All right, so that's it.
Yeah, we don't want to listen to this guy anymore.
All right, so
The
here's
rest of
what
it
we're.
was just him rambling the same kind of bullshit.
All right, so here's what's going to go on, guys. We are going to take a break. Make sure you guys give us a like, follow, tell a friend, help us grow. We're going to go to commercial break here in a second. And are you good, control room?
Yep.
All right, we're going to go to commercial break. We'll see you guys back here in a second.
Marijuana is huge.
So many dispensaries have resorted to a bland, impersonal shopping experience, where you often don't even get to see a sample of the cannabis you're planning on purchasing before you buy it. If you're looking for that extra personal touch, come check out High Roller Dispensary in Atlantic City, New Jersey. Our staff are avid cannabis connoisseurs who are sure to help you find the strains that fit you best. Whether you're looking for premium flower, edibles, concentrates, or tinctures, we have you covered with over 100 different strains to choose from, all of which are able to be seen, smelled, and thoroughly examined in our elegant showroom. If you're in a rush, we offer a seamless online ordering system that allows for in-depth exploration of all that we have to offer. So whether you're a novice or a seasoned stoner, be sure to stop by High Roller Dispensary and we'll make sure you're floating on Cloud 9 by the time you leave.
Right around here, 15 inches, maybe if you're younger, you go up to 19 inches, you know? Yeah, you know, you already want the bigger.
Sometimes a CIO might make commitments to a CEO that they just can't fulfill. And it's very hard to succeed in those environments. You really want to be able to set the expectation right up front.
How would you feel with no sex, no weed for a month or two? I'm going to be really angry.
I just feel sorry for Jake.
Yeah, Jake's going to get fucked up.
Wow, this is
Yeah, Phil, yeah, for
this is all you. This is the Cough Country OG pink hoodie.
Hey, I'm OG Ganja Goddess, and you're watching Cough Country TV. Peace.
This is Chef Marvin Jane, and you're watching Cough Country TV, live from New York.
Phil?
Yeah, that was an abrupt ending to our music, man. That was quick, man. Jeff got out of that shit quick. All right, so what's going on? What's going on? What's going on? All right, so we let's bring Bill back because Bill is going to help us go over the news. Hang on a second, Bill. I'm bringing you in a second. Just got to find you. Hey, Bill, how are you?
Am I on?
Yes, sir.
All right.
What's up, man?
Not much. I'm here to gently guide you through the news stories of the evening.
And then
Gently.
And then Todd and I will tell you what we think.
Yeah, please do.
And then audience, if you guys want to jump in and tell us what you think about the stories, we'll slow down, make sure that we read the comments on these different platforms. So you hit us with it, and we'll do it. And I'm taking preference to Kick and Rumble right now, so, and X.
Now, I got to tell you, Phil,
heard?
I just found out that using marijuana is going to lower my testosterone. I'm very upset about that.
Well, Bill, you know, it's probably good for society. We'll populate less.
Well, sure. I mean, one of the things I've always heard is that an excessive amount of testosterone in your system can actually cause baldness. So I'm hoping to see a little hair come back.
I see. What do you think? Is that possible?
I don't know if we can reverse it like that.
No?
Nope.
All right.
Yeah,
well, it was worth a shot.
Well, give it a shot, definitely.
I've got to give it a shot, you know?
Definitely.
If I see some new growth, I'm going to tell you guys.
All right, Bill.
But listen, we mentioned earlier about the new cannabis czar up in New York, John Kagia.
All right, so let's tell everybody about New York. So New York
Let's talk
is
about it.
Yeah, New York is basically, it's been a very, very tough rollout. They haven't had good structure. They've had issues with underground pop-up shops, unlicensed shops. They've been fighting with the growers. They're doing everything wrong.
Right.
So now tell us, what are they doing to right the ship?
Well, they're really trying hard to screw this up, and they're doing a great job at it, I think.
I was hoping that you're going to tell me that this is the savior to New York's
We're
program.
hoping that this is going to be the savior, John Kagia. And he seems like a really cool guy. John, if you're out there, we'd love to have you on the show.
All right,
so,
John.
Governor Kathy Hochul on February 26th put John in his place. The New York Office of Cannabis Management. He is the Director of Policy, also known as the Cannabis Czar. Kagia had worked at a place called New Frontier Data, which is the cannabis industry's analytics. He had worked there for 7 years. So he's got his bona fides. He knows what he's doing. He's going to be in charge of a $1.7 billion market up there in New York. But he has some big challenges and some controversies. Apparently, when it first started, the first czar, there were issues with implementation and rollout. Really, from what I understand, really not his fault, but he was sort of scapegoated. So this poor guy, that was Chris Alexander. He was replaced by a woman named Felicia Reed. And under Felicia's czarship, we had what was called the inversion scandal. Have you heard about this?
No.
So Felicia was in place till December 2025. And the inversion scandal was weed was coming into New York from outside, which is a no-no, and it was being sold inside. So there was an investigation into it, and the steps of the investigation apparently were not done quite so well, and the whole thing went belly up. And that was thrown at Felicia, and so Felicia had to leave. She was replaced by a woman named Susan Filburn as the interim, and Susan has done nothing wrong. Susan seems to have done a fine job for a short period of time. And now it's going to be John. And John is still considered interim until the Senate or whoever can vote him in and approve it, but he's the new guy.
Okay. What do you think, Todd, Father? You have anything to say about the new cannabis czar in New York?
Well, let's see what happens, right? Get him a chance, get in there and see what he can do, be productive, stop all the scandals, fraudulent things, all the problems that happened in the past.
Yeah, and we don't want to
Hopefully
have the
moving
fraudulent
forward.
things going on.
We wish him well.
We do wish him well.
Yeah. And hopefully he'll come on the show. John, if you're out there, we'd love to have you.
Yeah, Bill, I think he would love to talk to you.
I hope so. I try to be pleasant.
There you go. There you go.
As of February 5th, there's 582 stores open in New York, and the Cannabis Control Board is processing thousands of license applications. 3,500 are for retailers, micro businesses allowed to sell cannabis.
These are new?
Yeah, those would be new. There's 582 current, and there's 3,500 applications in there.
Well, they're ready to ramp it up.
Yeah. However, New York right now has a little bit of a glut, what they're calling price compression. So if you're in New York right now, it might be a great time to stock up.
Why? Because the prices are going up?
Prices are going down. Prices are down right now.
Oh, stock up now.
Right, stock up now.
Because they're going to go up.
They may go up.
They could go up. Well,
but if they do, don't blame it on John. John's doing okay so far.
And don't blame it on Bill.
Don't blame it on me.
For sure.
Our second story is from Michigan. You ready to move to the second story? You guys want to make some more?
What's going on in Michigan? What's
we
going
just,
on in the Midwest?
So we just talked about the fact that Michigan's about to go through a huge tax hike, and we talked about how, Governor Whitmer was unacceptably putting a burden on the cannabis market in Michigan.
Right.
So
So currently, Michigan, much like Ohio, has got a 10% tax on cannabis. And also, like Ohio, Michigan is sending the money back to the communities.
Mm-hmm.
So let's see. For 2025, they have 313 local entities and federally recognized tribes across the state. So that's 114 cities, 39 villages, 81 townships, 75 counties, and 4 tribes.
And they're all beneficiaries of this state program?
They're all going to get about $54,000 per licensed dispensary or micro business in their jurisdiction. So if your city has got 5 dispensaries, you're going to get $270,000.
Well, I think it comes down to maybe if you had 1 or 2, I don't think it matters. Just as long as you had a dispensary in your jurisdiction, makes you eligible.
Well, for each dispensary, you're going to get about $54,000.
So if you live in a place and
I think it's the locality, not the companies.
No, they're not the ones getting it, but the entities are getting it based on how many of these retail locations are in their zone.
Area,
in
right.
their zone.
So it goes to the It doesn't
so
go
these
to
are going
the
to townships and tribes and where else?
What do we got here? Cities, villages, townships, counties, and tribes.
Okay. And they don't tell them how to spend the money, right?
No. However, 15% to municipalities and tribes are hosting licensed cannabis businesses, 15% to counties and tribes hosting licensed cannabis businesses, 35% to school aid funds for K through 12 education, and 35% to the Michigan Transportation Fund for roads and bridges. That's how the money is going to be broken out.
Okay. I like how they have the money and it goes back to the communities, counties, and all that.
Right.
I just do question at the end there. You have the biggest percentage, 35% going to the Michigan Transportation Fund.
Yes, for roads and bridges. I think
that's more of a state. I'm not sure if I want to see those funds used for that.
No?
I want to see that amount of funds right there going back to those local municipalities. Hey, they're getting $54,000. Hey, give them $100,000.
Yeah.
What's $54,000 going to do for you?
Well, I mean, listen, some roads are federal roads, some roads are state roads, and you have to put money into your roads. I mean,
well,
listen.
your tax, I'm just saying, people are already doing that.
But that's $54,000 per dispensary. Right?
I think it's
54 per dispensary in your
if you have a dispensary in your jurisdiction,
right.
Your jurisdiction, your county, if you will is eligible for $54,000. It doesn't mean that if you have 5 dispensaries, you're getting 5 times $54,000.
Yeah, you are. Yeah, you are.
Yeah, I think that's what it is, Todd.
Yeah, because like if you got a township and your town or your city or whatever, and you got 5 dispensaries, you're gonna get more than the town that's got 1.
They got $94 million to distribute.
What
is that?
94 milli.
Okay,
Milli,
so
yeah.
So they're gonna break that up.
Detroit's getting 3.3 million.
Oh, they'll fucking corrupt that shit right away. No problem.
But just like we discussed with Ohio last week, that means the communities that have the dispensaries and the communities that have more of the dispensaries will get the money and will get more of the money.
So, listen, I think it sounds good as long as the money goes where it's supposed to go.
Yes.
and if it goes fairly, I would do a deep dive and say, okay, well, those places that have those 5 dispensaries as opposed to those ones that have 2.
Right.
Who lives in that town? Who's running that? It's always something.
Well, you
like
have to ask
that.
your question why. I mean, if you're a town and you've got 1 dispensary and these other ones have 5 dispensaries, you have to ask yourself, well, why? Is it because they don't want to be here, or is it because we've made it too difficult for them to be here?
Well, like you guys were saying in the last story, right?
Yeah.
I mean, are we putting all the dispensaries in the black neighborhoods? Right? And if that's the case, well, then great. The black neighborhood's going to get all the money.
I just think that business looks at, I don't think business, when they look for locations, look for black neighborhoods.
No, I
or
think
white
they look
neighborhoods.
for cheap rent.
They're going by the criteria.
Yeah, I mean, I think you have to look at criteria. So you have to look at traffic. You have to look at foot traffic.
Right.
You have to look at car traffic. You have to look at
In the rules and regulations of the business. You
Right.
gotta be far enough from this.
So
close
yeah,
to
yeah,
this,
yeah, yeah. So I'm sure there's a ton of things in here. This is the adult use.
The breakdown.
The adult use marijuana distributions. So you can see that there's cities and villages and townships, and then there's tribes as well. So mainly it's cities. Number of license in those cities is there's 100.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. So yeah, that's how they're doing it, man. So if your town has a bunch more dispensaries in it, you're getting more money. Meaning, if you were more friendly, you were more friendly to those businesses, you're going to get rewarded with more money.
Yeah.
Straight up.
Yeah, or
I'm okay with that.
Sometimes don't have nothing to be friendly with it. Sometimes they're going to put them there anyway.
I'm okay with it.
No matter what the case is, if you have that many, you're going to get it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you don't have to be friendly. You could just end up getting
them and benefit.
Okay,
Yeah.
but you got it. And so the program is benefiting people. It's generating revenue. I don't see any stories about how alcohol revenues get distributed between anybody.
You're absolutely right, yeah.
Not many states, there's a few states that control it, but those states that control it,
and all the damage they're doing.
Yeah, they don't share any money back to the community.
Where's Cigar land on this thing, right?
Yeah. I just I see, here you got and see that and see when we talk in retrospect, when we go back and talk about last Thursday when we talked about the increase, this wholesale price 20-some% increase,
right?
See, that's greed. When I said that was greed on Thursday, I say it even louder right now. That's greed, guys. All you have to do is look at these numbers. Are you saying to me that $94 million distributed between 238 outlets or cities, towns, whatever they are, that's not enough? That's not enough. Seriously, that's not enough. So go ahead, raise it. And what you might find out is that you don't even have 94 next year to distribute. You might not have it because you got too greedy.
Right. They'll go to jump across the border, go to another state if they can.
That's exactly what's going to happen.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I mean, this story is bittersweet. You see the benefits of the program, how it was designed to work, how the money's going where it's supposed to go, how they're going to use it and benefit from it.
Right.
And then we've got another story on the back on how that state that's got beneficial things, it's working, it's making money, it's getting the money where it needs to be, wants to do a 26% tax.
Right. And screw the whole thing up.
It's fucking greedy.
Yeah.
It's greedy.
Listen,
greedy Gretchen.
This is Gretchen, right? Gretchen Whitmer?
We'll see how it plays out.
Hey, Bill, look at your set, bro.
Isn't this cool? 94 million. There it is.
Look at that.
So this is Governor Gretchen
flexing at the
Whitmer,
newsroom.
right? So Gretchen,
Flexing.
listen, if you want to tell your side of the story, come on down. We'll be respectful. I won't let Phil yell at you. And we'd love to talk to you about it.
Hey, did you say come on down?
Yeah, I said come on down.
Well, speaking of that, Bill. Don't get me started on that. Don't get me started. All right.
Our next story comes out of Nebraska. Native tribes in Nebraska are getting tired of waiting for Nebraska to legalize or decriminalize cannabis. So they're saying, hey, we are a sovereign nation. We'll just decriminalize it ourselves.
Well, but wait a second. So Nebraska actually passed it, right? They actually passed the vote, but it's been a while and nothing's really
They're
happened.
not doing anything, yeah.
So what you're saying is that there's a tribe.
The Omaha tribe, yeah.
What kind of tribe?
They're called the Omaha tribe.
Okay, the Omaha tribe. They decided to take matters into their own hands?
And they're moving forward with plans to open the first medical cannabis dispensary and testing facility in Nebraska, and they're doing it in 2026. They're hoping to get it done by the end of 2026.
I mean, good for them.
Yeah.
Yep.
So what's the deal? Are they being told not to do this?
Yes. So medical marijuana was legalized in November of 2024. Tribe Council voted to decriminalize both medical and adult use on tribal land. They're taking advantage of their sovereign authority to create a regulated market. Governor Jim Pillen and Attorney General Mike Hilgers have publicly resisted tribal cannabis legalization. I don't know how they can publicly resist it. Maybe they give their opinion on it, but these tribal lands are sovereign, and so it doesn't matter how you feel, right? I mean, that's my understanding.
They're sovereign territories, right?
These things are always understanding, but that doesn't mean people are still going to push through it.
Right.
Yeah.
So they caution that non-tribal residents will get access to marijuana, I guess, for sneaking onto the reservation, but they don't even need to sneak on, right? They just walk on. The tribe is prioritizing medical cannabis and economic opportunities. They're looking to create a revenue and jobs on the reservation. This is all good stuff, right?
I like how they just plowed through and they said, you know what, fuck it.
Right.
You guys won't help us get this going. We're just going to do it ourselves.
Fuck you, we'll do it on
And they're
our own.
saying,
That's a good move.
And they're saying you can't do anything about it.
So that's going to force the state to up their game.
Well, because everybody in
Up their game, yeah.
everybody in the state is going to go to the.
They're going to go there.
Yeah.
And then Nebraska's going to say we'll open up some dispensaries.
Yeah.
It's hundreds of new jobs, and they're saying any negative downturn will be outweighed by the positives.
Good.
So,
And you know what, Nebraska? This is what you get when you don't listen to the people. The people spoke, and they want weed.
Right.
And then you have a reasonable amount of time to make that happen. You haven't done that. The natives
Lost
have.
revenue.
Lost revenue. The natives said, we're tired of waiting for you. And what was doesn't this replace an industry of theirs? There's a, they're big into growing tobacco. Natives are big into growing tobacco. And so they're just saying, hey, we can make a lot more
you can
money.
switch over easily.
Yeah,
overall will be better.
Overall, it's more popular. It has medicinal benefits. It's something that is going to yield us more revenue for our community than tobacco is.
Right. Yeah.
So why the hell wouldn't it's Nebraska should be shame on you guys, man.
And there's still no
people
timetable
spoke.
from Nebraska.
Yeah, the people spoke and you did not listen.
Right.
You did not listen to them.
Well,
and so
they're just taking too long, like everybody else.
I hope the natives keep all the money too.
They should be able to.
Yep.
Jeff, I'm loving these graphics. Thank you for this.
Yeah, I mean, Bill, shit, you're killing it over there.
Oh, canologist. Hey, don't forget the canologist, Steve. Doing a great job over there.
Friday
nights.
nights.
Did you talk about him already?
Yeah, go ahead, plug him. Friday nights.
Yeah, Friday nights. Steve, he comes in, he mixes all of his own homemade ingredients, really like top-end incredible stuff. He starts with fruits and all sorts of things and does emulsions and distillates and all kinds of cool stuff. And he'll mix you up a drink that it could be your social gathering for the night. Bring your friends over,
It's
have one drink, and you're fine.
high-end cocktails. These guys, these are high-end, non-alcoholic
Definitely.
cocktails. Some of those ingredients that you just described, Bill, actually takes Steve days to make some of these.
You can tell, yeah.
Like it literally says some of these you have to do it and then let it sit for 1 or 2 days and all of this stuff. And I tasted. I've tasted almost all of these drinks.
Right.
They are absolutely and truly amazing. If you guys are in the Atlantic City area and you want to join us for a filming of The Canologist where you get to sit in and you get to drink with Steve one of these cocktails.
High Rollers Dispensary in Atlantic City.
Yeah, we do this with our sponsor there, High Rollers Dispensary and Lounge. There's a we'll have to put this in later on, but there's a link that you can go to and you can sign up to be on The Canologist. And so we'll get that by next time.
I'm going to do it. I want to go down. I want to see him do it.
You should do it.
Right.
You should do it. Everyone should do it. It's an experience to do, and it's a good time. You have a good time down there. And you're in a damn smoke lounge, man. You're going to have a good time, trust me.
I actually want to hire a car, like a van or something, and take a whole group of folks down there and make an afternoon out of it.
Well, Bill, we can talk about that.
All right, that would be cool.
We can talk about that. What else is going on in the world of news?
One last thing on Steve, though. I'm always blown away by some of the ingredients he throws in. Stuff you would never think of to put into a drink.
Yeah, he works it. He works it. All right, what else?
All right, so let's move on to Pennsylvania. Cannabis workers are organizing a PA dispensary strike. So apparently, the United Food and Commercial Workers, the UFCW International Union, represents workers in legal cannabis industry. So we're talking about dispensary staff, cultivation workers, processing workers, and testing lab employees, all these folks.
Okay.
And the UFCW states the cannabis workers face unique workplace challenges, obviously, such as a lack of federal protections, irregular scheduling, low wages, and a lack of benefits compared to other agricultural and retail jobs. So, the union's organizing in multiple states to secure collective bargaining rights, higher wages, safer conditions, and benefits for cannabis workers. Sounds like good stuff, right? I'm not seeing a negative yet.
Well, you know what? So my comment, just so far, I know there's more things to it. It's so the employees are not wrong, right? Try to get some fair wages and everything.
No, they're
like that.
not wrong.
But the strain is going to be on the dispensary who's already struggling.
Yeah,
that's correct. And then when you got the state, so my recommendation for resolve is for the states and the town says, well, whoever's taxing, to ease some of that and let some of that go to the workers.
Yeah,
that's a good idea.
And then perhaps you don't even need your need for the union itself maybe won't be there. I think you'll find that these people in our industry are very generous people. They're not, I wouldn't say that, when you meet the people from the industry, and I'm not talking about the big money people, when you talk about the people from the industry, these are good fucking people, man.
The dispensary owners. And
these are honest, a lot of these are good, honest fucking people that are trying to make it. And so Todd brings up a good point, man, because you can't pay people. I mean, these are businesses that often can't even take expenses. So your payroll expense, before you pay taxes in any other business, you can take that, you can deduct that. And then you pay taxes on what you actually make. But not in this fucking world, not in the cannabis world. They want the taxes on the sales. They want the taxes on the top line revenue. So it doesn't matter what your expenses are. So there's no easing of that.
Right.
No easing of that, while at the same time they're trying to do their best for their workers. I'm not saying that everybody is like that, but I'm just saying, like, in general.
It's a fledgling industry, too. I mean, I think unions are a great thing, and they can be very helpful, but I hope that they don't put too tight of a squeeze on the business owners yet, right?
Well, it's going to be a major pushback because they probably just won't be able to afford what they're asking. It's going to have to come from another level, another source.
Yeah.
And cut in at 1% for the workers.
Cannabis crisis, bills in the crisis. Do we have any story on this? All right, let's go ahead and play it.
Contract holds the employer accountable for a lot of things. The number one thing, right when we unionized, my paycheck went up about $3 instantly.
Since the union agreement went into action, we've all seen proper compensation versus before union agreement.
We have great insurance. It's going to be health, dental, vision.
We get really amazing health coverage, which is a super big deal. Ever since we've unionized, life's become, just a little bit easier for sure.
Job security, making sure that, one day if the manager doesn't wake up on their wrong side of the bed, you're not getting fired for that day for no reason.
Knowing that there has to be a very good reason I have to assuredly not be doing my job for me to not have a job anymore is the biggest peace of mind that I have ever had in it.
If you've ever experienced a situation where you feel outnumbered and unheard, then a union is the way to go.
Knowing that if something were to happen, that it's not just going to be hearsay. It's not going to be my word against, management's word. It's going to be, I have those rights to have a representative in the room.
When anything goes wrong, you can reach out to your union rep and they will hold everyone accountable if something happened to you that wasn't just.
Unionize, unionize, unionize. Us workers have all of the power and we need to take some of that back.
Local 338, so, that's it.
You're not selling it when you're saying, hey, now I can fuck off and not do my job and still can't get fired.
Yeah,
all the good that you're hoping to get, you just threw it right out the window.
I mean, you're... Well, listen, you get what you get, and you don't get upset, as they say.
Yeah, apparently they're doing a lot of advertising here. We have like 3 of those very, well-made little clips.
Oh, man, let's see more. Why would we stop?
You got more of them?
Why the hell would we stop here?
Oh, okay.
That's a wrap.
You're a little fish in a big pond and then got all these big fishies coming for you. What you got to do? You got to start getting other fishies together, and then it gets better. The cannabis industry, we all know it's a booming industry. Our facility brings in thousands and millions of dollars, and they're not ashamed of telling us how much money they bring in. It felt like it was becoming less out of the hands of the employee and more into the hands of the company itself.
Right now I think that the people is what really makes the job fun.
To secure our futures and to prepare our longevities, we decided to unionize to make sure if you're going to prosper, we're going to prosper just alongside with you.
I wonder what that says on our shirt.
When we first started, it was a lot of backdoor conversations happening in the building, so behind a lot of closed doors, our managers couldn't hear us, a lot of secret conversations outside of work.
I remember when we first took one of the union pictures, we kind of all snuck into one room while all the managers were in a meeting. We snapped a picture and we all kind of just scattered.
We ended up forming our union in December. We got really serious about it.
It was definitely scary. Am I going to lose my job because I'm talking union business?
But then when you have this nice advice coming from you from somebody who's actually done it before, who's been in the process, it makes it a little bit less scary because it's okay, it's not that bad. Okay, it's going good, and then it's just nothing but up from there.
Instead of being scared, now I feel hopeful. Once you see everybody really sticking together, that's really what makes you feel comfortable. Knowing that I was protected from the union and that my pay was going to go up was a really fantastic thing.
It's nice to know that they can't just tell you that your job is done, you can go, bye,
Pause.
see you later.
I'd definitely say...
Why they keep saying that you can the big recurring theme is, it's nice to know that I don't really have to do my job all that fucking great, and I'll still keep it.
I don't think they're saying this. They're saying they have protections.
Right.
Nobody can just fire you for nothing. So.
But when I worked in the corporate,
I mean, it depends on what industry, what type of job you are. It's a lot of abuse goes on there.
In this state that we're in right now, if your employer decides that I don't want to employ you anymore, they can just walk in and tell you today's your last day.
It's employment at will.
Yeah.
Right. But unless you're unionized, so I guess people are excited for that.
Okay, well, it's wonderful. Is there anything else that's positive here that we should talk about, Jeff, in there?
I'm not going to lie. The first, eureka moment was when they first called me back and told me I could go for the job interview. And then starting the job, I found out it was union.
I have worked with employers that obviously had unions, but to have a cannabis union.
To have a union job be a dispensary job is crazy.
Literally just blows my mind. I could not believe.
My name is Justin Brown. I am a bud tender at Air Wellness Dispensary. A little bit of what I do, I kind of just help people pick out their meds. Working here has opened my eyes to actually see the good potential, the benefits that come to actually helping people.
I have been in healthcare for over 20 years. The more I learn as far as the medical side, to actually know and see that it heals people, definitely changed my perspective on cannabis period.
People wouldn't think that this would become a career that you can make an actual, like, a life off of. In this place, I've seen so many people move up. I've seen quickness and move up. I've seen growth. I've seen potential.
We always want to make sure that there's opportunity to grow. The longer you work here, you're not going to be doing the same thing over and over again. We're going to try to get you doing something new. You want to transfer to another department? We can do that for you. You want to get some more education on growing? We'll try to get more contact with other growers out of state. We have the opportunity to not only make a career out of something we love, but something that we want to share with the world. That was the first thing that kind of grasped me with UFC 3W. They make you feel like we're honest workers too. I started here at $11 an hour. It's now at $17.80. That's for the regular bud tender. We want to get that up to $20. We want to make sure that the leads working here, as myself, I am a shift lead. I'm getting paid $22 an hour. We want to get that higher. We want to make sure that we get that up to the 30s. The time and effort and sweat we put into these buildings, we want to make sure that it's paid for.
If you have the union behind you, then it's endless possibility.
Okay.
What do you think?
That guy's getting paid more than I am. Hey, Todd, can we start a union here?
Yes.
Yeah, I think we should.
Paid?
Yeah.
Yeah, so, it's interesting. Everybody fighting for their rights, so I don't see anything wrong with that, but how to get this going and actually pass through, or if it will, it's a lot of parts to it.
Yeah.
And it doesn't mean they don't like the workers.
Right.
The money just might not be there.
Right.
Exactly. Or in order to get the money, the price of weed might go up.
Exactly.
And if that happens, then it may force people back into the black market.
Yeah. Well,
we'll see. It'll all play out.
Good for the unions.
We'll see it.
What else?
So we've got another story.
Oh,
on
and part
Pennsylvania.
of part of that I was just going to say, Pennsylvania has 2 dispensaries on strike, so
Exactly,
it's not all peaches and cream, I guess.
Pennsylvania medical cannabis dispensary workers go on strike.
There you
At
go.
least one medical cannabis dispensary in Pennsylvania, the Zenith Group dispensaries, saw their workers go on strike, citing labor and workplace issues.
So what do you think about that? Where's that located?
It does not say, I don't think, here. I didn't see it in here. No, it's in Pennsylvania. I know that.
So a Pennsylvania dispensary is on strike right now.
They want to get workers. Strike is tied to efforts by cannabis workers to, 1, get union representation, again, go back to the union, improve work conditions, and negotiate labor contracts rather than remain at-will employees.
So they went on strike as non-union workers, is what you just said, I think.
Yeah. They're on strike because they want to
in
be
an
unions.
effort to get to be picked up into the union.
Exactly, yeah. At least that's part of it, right? Get union representation, improve work conditions, negotiate labor contracts so that they will not be at-will employees.
So what would you do? You're struggling. You're trying to run a business.
Right.
Your non-unionized staff just walk the fuck out.
Right.
All of them. They say they're on strike. It's their own strike. It's not even a technical union strike. It's a strike so they can they can become unionized.
Right.
What would you do as the owner? Do you try to work with the union and them and try to get something put together, or do you just start hiring people to run your business?
It's a difficult. It's a complex situation.
Yep.
I think you always want to listen to your employees.
Right.
As to why this is all happening.
Right. You listen to their concerns.
Mm-hmm.
And then take that in, find out what can be done, or if it can be, if it can't be done, and then you got to proceed from there. Because and just,
Good
take it
faith
one step at a time and
negotiation.
just common sense and try to see what happens.
Yeah.
But each day you're not open.
Well, I mean, so in the meantime, with that, if I'm going to negotiate with them, they're going to have good faith and be working with. We're working towards and moving towards a certain way, then I would want their commitment to work there. But if not, then you just might have to get some more employees.
Sadly, yeah. Well, and the margins on these dispensaries, I mean, they must be very tight, right? We heard about the story a couple of weeks ago. Ice-T had a dispensary in North Jersey that went belly up, right?
Listen, I think that the margins are relatively tight, and I think that the regulations and taxes are unbelievably high.
That's the killer
So
part.
that's the killer part. I think, you know, and listen, in any business, there's nothing more important than your people. There's nothing more important than in any business than your people. Your customers aren't more important than your people. Nothing is. You aren't more important than your people. So in an organization like that, I don't know, man. You would.
It's a tough situation.
You would think
It's a tough situation.
you would think that you would see this coming. You would hope that you would have saw this coming beforehand. Like
Exactly,
If the
yeah.
writing's on the wall and you could prevent the walkout, I think you want to prevent the walkout.
Right.
But once you're in a walkout situation, like I don't know how that's going to resolve itself really, really quickly. So that means you're closed. And that's probably not very
Now
good.
you're not making any money.
Now you're not making anything.
Right.
So it is a tough situation. Clearly they didn't see it coming or they didn't pay attention to it ahead of time. I don't know anything about these people. I know nothing about this situation or this story. So anything I'm saying is simply just a fucking guess. But, you know, my guess is that they didn't pay attention to what was going on. It got bad. They left. And now, you know,
see what happens.
you could easily say, well, go ahead and hire some more people and keep running it. But if you weren't doing the right things as a business owner to begin with, what's to say that whoever else you hire is not going to have a fucking problem?
I'll
with
say
you?
this, you know, throughout my career, you know, management. Listen, you can fool yourself and be that hard ass and inconsiderate and just look at the bottom line all the time.
Yeah.
And your people will forsake you.
Right.
So you're never going to get the maximum production and or respect from your employees.
Exactly.
If you're not treating them right.
And you'll have
you're
churn.
fooling yourself.
You'll have an open door, people coming in and walking back out again.
Yeah.
Workers are seeking better pay, benefits, and protections. And they are working with the UFCW. So hopefully the UFCW isn't the one who said, let's have a big old strike, because, I don't know, that creates a lot of contention. But they're working with them, and they've been actively organizing the cannabis sector nationwide.
Okay.
So,
well, there you go.
Cannabis industry jobs often lack traditional labor protections. Again, they're not federally regulated, and that is a central point of the organization efforts.
Makes some sense. Got to take in consideration, like she said, you know, she said, you know, these guys don't tell you, they don't have a problem telling you about the millions of dollars that they're making. Man, I kind of doubt that, man. I really do.
She's overstating it and don't know what they went through to get there.
They don't know any of that.
Well, they may also be listening to the statistic we threw out in the last story.
We're $94 million. Yeah,
dollars.
I got you. Yep.
So you hear that and you think, oh, where's my $94 million?
Yep. Where's my slice of that? Well,
Exactly.
that's tax money, actually, is what they're talking about,
Right.
not what the dispensaries made. Okay. What
We
else
have
you got?
another story out of PA.
Okay.
PA is just on fire today.
Let's go, PA.
And this is actually a little bit of good news.
Good news.
I can never say this.
Quinnipiac
Quinnipiac University
Quinnipiac,
poll
yep.
finds that the majority of Pennsylvania voters are in favor of or in support of legalizing adult use recreational marijuana. Go PA.
Yeah, well, I feel like we knew that.
Yeah.
But yet the politicians can't follow the lead. They cannot follow the lead. The people want it. Every state around Pennsylvania, minus West Virginia, has it. And it's nuts.
Well, you know, I was looking into this story a little bit. There was legislation that they were trying to pass in order to get things moving along, and down the line, I think the Republicans voted against it, and the Democrats were all in favor of it. But one of the things that came out of that was that the way it was worded, if they had approved this legislation, you would have to be buying your marijuana from the state stores, where in Pennsylvania you buy your liquor.
Yeah, and
they didn't want that to happen.
That's not going to pass.
So we can't just blame it straight down party lines. However, 56% of voters say they support the legislation. 37% say they do not support it; they oppose it. By party, this is 72% of Democrats are in favor, 63% of independents are in favor, and 63% of Republicans are opposed. They didn't say how many Republicans are in favor. You can't necessarily assume it's the 37 not listed in there. But
I got to be honest with you, man. When it comes to weed, Republicans are clowns, man. They have
They're
their
trailing
head up their
behind,
ass.
yeah.
And as much money as they fucking want to get their hands on, I just don't understand why they, you know. And they're all fucking drunks, too. They love drinking. These motherfuckers.
it's the red noses.
It gives it away every time.
So the poll was conducted in the end of February, just last month. They contacted 836 voters, and there's a 4.7 margin of error. So it's pretty clear.
Yeah.
Pennsylvania wants cannabis.
Get your act together, PA. We're going to have to go back and see where we are legislatively here on the next go-around.
I'm tired of seeing surveys and all this type of stuff, but it really doesn't lead to anything.
Get it done.
Yeah, lawmakers continue considering proposals, and
Shapiro, by the way, Shapiro, you have no chance of running for president if you cannot get weed done in PA.
But if you want to come on the show and talk about it,
he won't.
We're happy to have you on the show.
He won't. We've already invited him.
But it's in discussions in the budget and all legislative sessions.
Oh, I know.
They're talking about it a lot.
Well, they've been talking about it for years.
And they recognize that legalization will bring in a lot more revenue, but
yeah,
come on, guys.
But yet they still can't do it.
Pull or get off the pot.
Man, you guys suck.
What else you got?
We got one more, our last story, also from Pennsylvania. In Pittsburgh, cannabis advocates say legalization talks have a weird vibe. And this is after calls from City Council and Governor Shapiro.
So this falls in line with what you were just saying. Go ahead.
Yeah, so Pennsylvania is seeing a lot of movement, legislations being discussed by local
Weird
Pittsburgh
vibes going
City
on.
Council members and Josh Shapiro. Public is calling for adult use legalization this year. Pittsburgh cannabis advocates say that while public support exists, the tone and progress of legalization feels weird, or disengaged is the other word they're using for it. So really, it's like everyone's saying, yes, let's legalize it, let's legalize it, let's legalize it. And then when it comes time to legalize it, people are shying away from it.
So who's saying? I mean, listen, I agree with it. I agree with the whole thing. Is that
just
this
all
is
talk.
It's been talk, and tons of talk, and then there's no action. Everybody seems to want to do it. You just talked about a poll, so the people want it. You hear the legislative people talk about it. They seem to want it, and so who's saying that they've got this? I mean, because it is a weird vibe. It is kind of fucked up that this is where we're at. But why? Like, what led them to that?
They're not really saying a real why. They're just saying we're seeing a lot of symbolic talk, but no concrete action.
That's all it is.
Yeah.
That's all they're saying. It's just people flapping their lips, but there's no action.
Right.
For the past.
Or it's moving
how many
very, very
years.
slow.
Yeah. So that story there, unfortunately, is just another story of the same story that we keep hearing.
It's another story of the same story.
All right, Bill. I appreciate the news, brother.
I'm glad I could be here to deliver it.
Right on, brother. We're going to see you a second in a strain of the for the strain of the day.
Yes.
We'll see you back here in a minute.
I'll pop in the elevator. I'll come down.
All right, cool. We'll see you in a minute, Bill.
You got it.
All right, bring it back to us. And so, guys, what we're going to do is we are going to move into the strain of the day. We're going to tell you about it. Then we're going to jump off of YouTube. You guys can hang out with us for the rest of the little sesh that we're going to do. Mr. Todd, I will ask you, what is today's strain of the day?
Today's strain of the day is Pink Starburst Marijuana strain.
Pink Starburst Marijuana. Can we ask Mary Jane what she thinks?
Yeah, let's see what Mary Jane
Well,
thinks.
if we're talking pink Starburst vibes, I'd say that's got to be a sweet, uplifting strain. I'm thinking something fruity and mellow. Maybe a hybrid that leaves you feeling happy and relaxed. What's the Todd Father think?
Well, that's a very good start off. Thank you. It is, it's a very creative and euphoric feeling and happy and uplifting. And I have to say that's true.
Absolutely. We keep it honest here.
Yeah.
Whether it's sweet, ironic, or just plain fun, we'll always bring it as it is.
And as you said, it's a hybrid, but has more of a sativa lean. I've seen some with 60 or 70% sativa.
A sativa-leaning hybrid. That means you'll be riding that wave of creative energy, but still with a smooth, balanced finish.
That's right.
Yep.
That's where you want to be. So it's a mix between DJ Short's Blueberry and Headband and Sour Diesel's BX3.
That's a seriously tasty lineage. Blueberry smoothness, headbands chill, and that sour diesel kick? No wonder it's got that happy creative vibe.
Well, let me give you a little description from the site allbud.com. They have very good descriptions of strains, and I'm happy to read them. So this bud has a sweet, fruity candy flavor that drips off your tongue with each tasty toke. The aroma is very floral, sweet, with a sour berry effect, accented by fresh mellow earth as the nugs are burned. So
That sounds delicious, like a sweet treat that brings a whole vibe with it. I can see why that one would be a showstopper.
you are right.
Hell yeah.
So the aroma is, like I said, a berry, earthy, floral, sour, sweet, and the flavors are candy, herbal, and sweet. And I could tell you because, we'll try this
I
out in a
haven't
little
tasted
bit.
it yet, but it smells
Yeah.
absolutely phenomenal.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I cheated.
Well, that's half the fun already. When the aroma's on point, you know the tasting experience is going to be something special. Enjoy that one.
Yeah. So, it's great for treating conditions such as chronic fatigue, migraines, headaches, depression, chronic stress, and eye pressure or glaucoma.
So it's not just fun, it's got some practical muscle behind it.
Yes, it
Sounds
does.
like it got you covered from mood to relief. A well-rounded pick.
Thank you. I was getting ready to say that.
Yeah,
I'm feeling you, Mary Jane.
Yeah.
I'm here for it. Whenever you're ready to keep rolling, I'm right there with you.
All right, Mary Jane, we're going to actually smoke some of this here in a minute, so just hang tight on that. All right, Jeff, what we're gonna do, guys, is we're gonna come down off of YouTube. We're gonna switch ourselves into the mode where we just chill out and hang out. You guys can hang out with us. We call it the Stoner Moon Sesh. We are going to actually smoke some of the what's it called? Pink
Starburst.
Pink Starburst.
It's a winner. It's definitely a thumbs up. Definitely a favorite.
Hell yeah. So what we're going to do now, Jeff, is I'm going to bring us down on the YouTube. Guys, come over to Rumble. Give us a like, follow, subscribe. YouTube days could be numbered. Guys, start watching us on Rumble. Start watching us on Kick. We're going to come down right now. And we're going to come down right here, right now, off of this platform.